One of the interesting things about being a person in their 40s, if you're in your 40s, you probably remember a time before the internet and social media took hold. You most likely went to school, whether it was junior high school or possibly even high school, where the internet was not yet a major cornerstone of our lives. And I talk about this a lot in my videos. I talk about how much opportunity I had placed in front of me with the advent of auction web, which later became eBay, which debuted in 1995, and how it fundamentally changed the antiques and collectibles trade going forward to the point where we can never go back from where we came from. It had that much of an impact. And one of the things, too, that I talk about often on this channel is how I'm very nostalgic for a lot of retailers that have came and went. Places like Electronics Boutique, or Babbage's, or Toys R Us, or Kitty City, or KB Toys, or CompUSA, or Software Etc., or Computer City. A lot of these retailers helped shape my formative early years, like in the 1980s, 1990s, when my parents used to take me either into Philadelphia or shopping at the King of Prussia Mall. It was a different experience back then than it is now. So one of the things that I was always hoping for is at least at some point in time, there would be a reemergence of some of these companies out there that would get it in their minds, get it in their hearts, that we need to cater to this demographic. This is why I'm always so critical of GameStop. If GameStop would pull their head out of their proverbial ass and actually cater to the vintage video game marketplace and collectors more specifically, they actually could have a workable concept that would actually appease their investors on Wall Street, and they would actually become profitable over the long term instead of engaging in all this stupid cryptocurrency shenanigans or all these stupid Funko Pops and other fly-by-night collectibles that pretty much occupy space at their retail locations that they could be using to show off really good, cool, true vintage collectibles. But I've pretty much given up all hope for GameStop to pull their head out of their arse and actually do the right thing. So I want to state this up front. In a pre-COVID era, there was less risk to opening up a retail brick and mortar shop than there is today. But even back then, if it was done incorrectly, you would get slapped in the face with a stale donut. At present time, it is very hard, in my opinion, to open up any type of retail-based brick and mortar collectibles shop and actually do it right to the point you're not only going to stand the test of time, but you're also going to be able to turn a sizable profit. You're going to be spending too much hours at that business, and the reward, in my opinion, is just not there for most people. Most people would actually make more money working in corporate America or just choosing another business, a different field to get into. So that said, every now and then, I really think it's kind of cool when a company comes along and tries this core concept. And right now, we have a company called CardVault that actually has a prominent investor in that Tom Brady, yes, that Tom Brady, football superstar, is investing in this company. And the company is actually catering to more high-end sports card, trading card, and sports memorabilia customers. And they are starting to open up shops in higher-end shopping malls. Now, most recently, they just opened up a store in the American Dream Mall, which is roughly 2.5 hours from me. The closest, largest shopping mall to my house is the King of Prussia Mall, which is roughly 25-30 minutes away. And I go there at least twice a month. That is, I think, the fourth or third largest shopping mall in the United States. I believe the American Dream Mall in New Jersey is roughly, I think, the second largest shopping mall, if I recall correctly. You can look this up through the internet, through Google, and you can get the answers. But I do know it is a major shopping mall. I was there several times and was very impressed. Well, I have an article that I'm going to link in the video description below, courtesy of PR Newswire, that talks about this development, that talks about this higher end retail shopping experience geared towards collectors, investors, speculators, and casual enthusiasts of sports trading cards, related memorabilia, third-party grading, and also they do claim that they're going to expand and venture into collectible trading cards with, of course, Pokemon being at the top of the list. So what I want to do is I want to read you some paragraphs from this article and give you my thoughts, because I think that this could potentially have a profound effect on the trade going forward in a positive way, or of course, in an internet era, it could crash and burn. Because let's be realistic. If somebody like me wants to collect like a PSA 10 vintage Pokemon card, or heaven forbid, like a PSA 7 or a PSA 8, 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card, I can do that from the comfort of my own home. If I log on to Heritage Auctions, if I log on to Hakes Auctions, if I log on to eBay or PWCC and I bid on those items, I can do it from the comfort of my own home. I know what I'm getting. I'm bidding at it at auction, so I know the price that I'm willing to pay. And also, it's a completely private transaction. I don't have to leave my house. That said, I still think this concept, this CardVault concept, is a good idea, because I think a lot of us really need to put ourselves out there. We need to go interact in person with other collectors, other dealers, other investors, other speculators, other enthusiasts in these hobbies, rather than just interacting with people's avatars online. It's getting a little old, especially in a post-COVID era. So I'm going to read some paragraphs from this article, and I'm going to give you my thoughts, because I think this article really sums up this experience perfectly, and it's going to be very interesting to see where we go from here. So quoting directly from the article, CardVault by Tom Brady, the premier sports card and memorabilia retailer, will open its newest flagship location at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey, delivering an unmatched experience for sports fans and collectors. Located next to MetLife Stadium, this location is the first CardVault store outside the Boston area and the first fully branded store since Tom Brady acquired an ownership stake. Spanning over 1,200 square feet of immersive and interactive retail space, CardVault by Tom Brady at American Dream will offer rare and premium trading cards, industry-leading authentication services, and an exclusive VIP trading experience. Operated by a team of passionate hobby experts, the store will provide a welcoming and insightful environment for collectors, novices, and sports fans alike, guiding visitors through the rich history and exciting future of the hobby. Now, I'm going to stop here because I don't want to read the whole article to you. That's why I'm going to link it in the description. But just to touch base on this store is over 1,200 square feet in a high-end shopping mall. Do you have any idea what their monthly rent is going to be? We're talking, it's got to be more than $10,000 a month to be in a location like this, especially with that amount of square footage. So they're obviously going to have to do a lot of business. Now, be fair, I've said this before in other videos, one advantage that I have living on the East Coast. The East Coast is well known, where we have a plethora of collectors, speculators, investors, people that are really passionate about the antiques and collectibles trade. I would say the East Coast of the United States has more collectors than any other region in the United States, with the exception of possibly California, Washington State, and maybe Oregon. If you actually look at a map, that's the hot spots for collecting. Now, you could also argue there are certain hot spots down near like Florida, Miami, even Louisiana, and certain areas in Texas. But overall, the vast majority of higher end collectors in the antiques and collectibles trade, for whatever reason, tend to reside and operate on the East Coast. And really, it's the Northeast portion going all the way up through Maine, all the way down through Washington, D.C. This is a major hub of activity in the antiques and collectibles trade. So it makes sense that this chain started in Boston and is now expanding to more higher end retail locations. Now, it is going to be something to watch how this develops, because as we know, there's a lot of malls that are struggling at present time. The good news is malls like American Dream, malls like the Mall of America, malls like the King of Prussia Mall, these tend to be high-end shopping malls that also offer other interactive experiences. I don't know if you know this, Netflix is going to be building a 2-story interactive entertainment center at the King of Prussia Mall, where I'm roughly 25, 30 minutes away. So that'll be great to go on dates when they open that up. I am kind of excited. So I will tell you, there seems to be an interesting dichotomy going on in the world of retail, where a lot of lower traffic, low volume, low economic activity malls are going the way of the dinosaur. But it would appear the higher end malls are still attracting a lot of attention. I can tell you firsthand, if I go down to the King of Prussia Mall on a Friday or Saturday night, it's very hard to get a parking spot. And I can tell you, when I walk the mall, it's pretty much packed. There's people spending money, there's people hanging out, there's a lot of activity in that mall. So the good news is, with this being more of a high-end store, I think they may have a proof of concept here that works. It's just going to be interesting to see if it's worth the amount of rent they're going to be paying, when really, in all honesty, this same concept could work online. And this is exactly why Heritage Auctions, Hakes Auctions, PWCC are so profitable, because they really don't have a retail presence. Now, I do know Heritage Auctions does have some walk-in offices throughout the country, even throughout the world. But overall, they're not paying a mass expense for commercial retail space, especially at like a place like the American Dream Mall here. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes, to see if this does gain traction, to see if they start opening up other stores along the East Coast or even throughout the country. This could be a positive proof of concept. And if it does work, it will bring more investors, more collectors, more speculators, more hobbyists into this market, especially if they do expand in the Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, other graded collectible card games, even possibly other graded collectibles in general. This could be a really big boom for this company, especially if they start attracting more investors, or if they take this company public. If this ends up being an IPO on Wall Street and it's a proven concept, guess what? The high-end collectibles trade from a retail brick and mortar perspective is back, baby. So I really have high hopes for this. I will be going, I do want to state this, because I'm only like 2.5 hours from this mall. It's no problem for me to take a weekend drive, go there and check this out. So I will be doing that. I'll gladly report back if you guys want. I don't know if I can record video in this store. I would love to do it for you guys. I just think it would probably be frowned upon, but I will gladly do a follow-up video on this once I experience this firsthand. So the article is going to be linked in the video description below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And again, if you are subscribed to this channel, I will possibly see you in another upcoming video. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.